The Spanish Inquisition. These words still evoke chills. The mere mention of the Spanish Inquisition conjures images of fear, persecution, and relentless scrutiny. It is a dark chapter in human history, a period marked by intense religious fervor and brutal enforcement of orthodoxy. It began in 1478. The seeds of this institution were sown in a time of great upheaval and change. Spain was undergoing a tumultuous transformation. The Reconquista had just ended, and the nation was in the throes of redefining its identity. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella had a vision. They were determined to forge a strong, unified kingdom. They wanted a unified and Catholic Spain. Their vision was one of religious homogeneity, where Catholicism reigned supreme. The Inquisition was their tool. It was a means to an end, a way to enforce their vision of a pure and devout nation. It was meant to eliminate heresy. Any deviation from the Catholic faith was seen as a threat to the stability of the realm. Its primary target was Conversos. These were individuals who had converted from Judaism to Christianity, often under duress. These were Jews who had converted to Christianity. Despite their outward conversion, many continued to practice Judaism in secret. Many Conversos still practiced Judaism in secret. This worried the monarchy. The fear was that these secret practices could undermine the religious unity they sought to establish. They feared a threat to their power. The monarchs believed that any form of religious dissent could weaken their authority and destabilize the kingdom. The Inquisition was their response. It was a powerful institution designed to root out and punish heresy, ensuring that no one could challenge the religious and political order. It was a way to consolidate control and ensure religious conformity. Through the Inquisition, Ferdinand and Isabella sought to create a Spain that was not only politically unified, but also religiously homogeneous, a nation where Catholicism was the unchallenged faith. The trials were often brutal and unforgiving. Accusations of heresy could lead to torture, imprisonment, and even execution. Public executions served as a grim reminder of the consequences of defying the Inquisition. They were meant to instill fear and ensure compliance. The populace lived in fear. The Inquisition's reach was vast, and no one was beyond its scrutiny. Despite the fear, some continued to practice their faith in secret. These acts of defiance were dangerous but showed the resilience of the human spirit. The Spanish Inquisition eventually came to an end, but its legacy remains. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of religious intolerance and the lengths to which those in power will go to maintain control. The Inquisition was a terrifying force, a dark chapter in history that left an indelible mark on society. It instilled fear in the hearts of the people, creating an atmosphere of suspicion and dread that permeated everyday life. The methods used were brutal and ruthless. Torture was commonplace, with devices designed to inflict maximum pain and suffering. Torture was used to extract confessions, often from innocent people who were accused based on flimsy evidence or personal vendettas. The accused were often denied any legal representation, stripped of their rights, and left to face the terrifying might of the Inquisition alone. The auto de fe was a public spectacle of punishment, a grim reminder of the consequences of defying the Church's authority. Heretics were burned at the stake, their deaths serving as a gruesome warning to others who might consider dissent. This served as a warning to others, reinforcing the power and control of the Inquisition over the populace. The Inquisition's reach was vast, extending far beyond Spain's borders and into other parts of Europe and the New World. It extended into every corner of Spanish society. No one felt safe, as the Inquisition's spies and informants were everywhere, ready to report any hint of heresy or dissent. The Inquisition operated in secrecy, its officials holding clandestine meetings and conducting investigations behind closed doors. Families were torn apart, communities were disrupted, and the social fabric of the time was irrevocably altered by the Inquisition's relentless pursuit of control. The legacy of the Inquisition is one of fear and oppression, a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of protecting individual rights and freedoms. Tomás de Torquemada. This name is synonymous with the horrors of the Inquisition. As Grand Inquisitor, he was a figure of immense power. His methods were particularly cruel. He believed he was doing God's work. Under his reign, thousands were persecuted. Many were executed. The Spanish Inquisition became a symbol of religious extremism. It left a lasting scar on Spain's history. The Inquisition had a profound impact on Spain. It cast a long shadow over the Renaissance. Fear and suspicion became pervasive. People were afraid to speak their minds. Censorship stifled intellectual and artistic expression. The persecution of Jews and Muslims had devastating consequences. It led to the expulsion of these communities. Spain lost a vibrant part of its cultural fabric. The Inquisition left a legacy of intolerance and persecution. Section 5. The price of conformity: cultural and intellectual consequences. The Inquisition's impact on Spain's intellectual life was profound. It created a climate of fear and self-censorship. Scholars and artists hesitated to explore new ideas. They did not want to be accused of heresy. The pursuit of knowledge was stifled. Scientific inquiry also suffered. The Church held a tight grip on what was considered acceptable knowledge. The Inquisition hindered the progress of the Renaissance in Spain. Section 6. Echoes of the Past: the Inquisition's legacy in Spain and beyond. The Spanish Inquisition, a dark chapter in history, finally came to an end in the 19th century. This institution, which began in the late 15th century, was responsible for countless trials, tortures, and executions in the name of religious purity. However, its legacy continues to haunt Spain to this day. The remnants of its influence can still be seen in the architecture, the culture, and even in the collective memory of the Spanish people. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of religious extremism and the lengths to which it can go to enforce conformity. The Inquisition's actions were not just about religion. They were about control, power, and the suppression of dissent. The scars of the past run deep, etched into the very fabric of Spanish society. Families were torn apart, communities were destroyed, and a culture of fear and suspicion was fostered. In recent years, Spain has made significant efforts to reconcile with its history. Museums and educational programs have been established to educate the public about the atrocities committed during the Inquisition. The Spanish government has also issued official apologies and acknowledgments of the injustices committed. These actions are steps towards healing and understanding, recognizing the pain and suffering inflicted upon countless individuals. But the memory of the Inquisition serves as a warning to future generations. It is a powerful reminder of what can happen when intolerance and fanaticism are allowed to flourish unchecked. Today, Spain stands as a testament to the importance of tolerance and freedom of thought. The diverse cultural interactions and the symbols of freedom that are now celebrated in Spanish society are a direct response to the dark days of the Inquisition. It is a legacy that, while painful, has shaped a more open and inclusive future. Section 7. The Enduring Power of Belief: Lessons from the Spanish Inquisition. The Spanish Inquisition offers a stark lesson. It shows how easily belief can be twisted. It highlights the dangers of blind faith and fanaticism. The Inquisition reminds us that the pursuit of power can corrupt even the most noble ideals. It also underscores the importance of critical thinking and questioning authority. We must be wary of those who claim to have a monopoly on truth. Section 8. Beyond Black and White: Nuance and Complexity in Historical Perspective. It is important to remember that history is complex. It is not simply a matter of good versus evil. The Spanish Inquisition was a product of its time. It was a time of religious upheaval and political intrigue. To understand the Inquisition, we must consider the historical context. We must avoid judging the past solely by today's standards. Section 9. The Human Capacity for Cruelty and Compassion: A Timeless Dilemma. The Spanish Inquisition reveals a dark side of human nature. It shows our capacity for cruelty and violence, but it also highlights our capacity for compassion and resilience. Many individuals and groups resisted the Inquisition. They risked their lives to help those persecuted. The Inquisition reminds us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can endure. Section 10. The importance of remembering history's warning and inspiration. The Spanish Inquisition may seem like a distant event, but its lessons are still relevant today. We must remember the past. We must learn from its mistakes. Only then can we prevent such atrocities from happening again. By studying history, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We can learn from the past and strive to create a better future.